Why? What have you heard?
This year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life.
I recently saw a blind item talking about how Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are apparently no longer living together, allegedly. And you know what? I 100% believe it.
Did Ryan Reynolds just get caught with another woman? Because that's literally what the internet is whispering right now. And if even half of it is true, this might be the biggest Hollywood heartbreak of the year. Now, before anyone starts panicking, no, there aren't any photos or confirmations yet. But the reason people believe it is because it isn't coming out of nowhere. There's a blind item that just dropped, and let's just say it's not painting a happy picture of Ryan and Blake's marriage. The post didn't give names, but it said, and I quote, "The north of the border actor and his wife have been living apart for nearly a year now. At this point, they're barely on speaking terms and haven't publicly split because it would take their public world from bad to worse." And y'all, we all know who that's describing. A Canadian A-lister married to a major Hollywood star? It's giving Ryan and Blake. But hold on, it actually gets worse because apparently this isn't even the first time insiders have hinted that Ryan's been moving differently. Earlier this year, another blind item popped up claiming that he'd already reached out to a divorce lawyer. You can guess who fits that description. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Blake Lively. So now everyone is asking if they've allegedly been living separate lives for almost a year, who is keeping him company in the meantime? I'm not saying there's already another woman, but the way that this story is unraveling, it is definitely making people suspicious, and honestly, the silence from both sides isn't helping. Here's where things start taking a turn, because after that blind item got dropped, another story popped up, and this one didn't come from some random gossip page. Multiple outlets started reporting that Ryan and Blake's marriage had turned, quote, toxic. And yeah, the details aren't exactly flattering. Apparently, they've been at each other's throats, fighting nonstop, and the energy around them have shifted from playful to, well, mean. One insider even said the F-bombs aren't playful anymore, they've turned nasty. And you can feel it. That kind of tension doesn't just happen overnight. But wait, here's the twist that made everyone stop laughing. Remember that story Ryan told about telling Blake to F off in front of a crowd? Yeah, it turns out that wasn't just a joke. He was retelling how it happened at a real event, and insiders say it wasn't the funny, flirty moment he made it sound like. It was cold, embarrassing even. And here's where I kind of gasped, because apparently that moment was the final straw for a lot of people close to them. Friends say that the teasing used to be lighthearted, but now it's borderline cruel. One source even said Blake feels humiliated and Ryan acts like she should just take it. Okay, but what happened to the couple who used to roast each other on Twitter like it was foreplay? Now he's starting to sound like those jokes weren't just jokes, they were red flags in disguise. Because once you start paying attention, the clues are everywhere, and the internet's been quietly piecing this together for months, and from what I've seen, it's not looking good. I mean, Ryan and Blake haven't been seen together in months. The last time they were actually seen together in public was all the way back in February at the SNL 50th anniversary. No public events, no couple photos, no little inside jokes online. For two people who used to make their entire brand out of trolling each other out in public, that kind of silence just doesn't happen. Then came the Reddit discovery that made everyone pause. Someone pointed out that you can scroll down Ryan's Instagram forever and not find a single photo of Blake. And when I checked, they weren't exaggerating. It's all movie promos, business collabs, Wrexham updates, and behind-the-scene pics with Hugh Jackman and Wesley Snipes. But not one with his wife. And come on, this is Ryan Reynolds we're talking about. The same man who once posted a birthday pic of Blake cropped halfway out of the frame just for laughs. Now, here's the thing. If that blind item about them living apart for almost a year is true, this social media silence starts to make perfect sense. Because if everything was fine, we'd have seen at least one post shutting down the rumors, but instead, nothing, not even a comment. And let's be real, the idea of another woman being in the picture isn't that far-fetched. Because if we're keeping it real, that's kind of how this whole love story started. Ryan and Blake first met on the set of Green Lantern, while he was still married to Scarlett Johansson and she was dating Penn Badgley.
So off I went, I did it, no regrets, it was amazing. Met my future wife, and we were buddies then. I remember it was funny because for about a year after Green Lantern had come and gone, all that stuff, and we were both single. We went on a double date she was on a date with another guy and I was on a date with another girl, and that was the most awkward date for their respective parties because we were just like fireworks coming across the. Yeah.
Now, technically, no one is saying there was cheating, but emotionally, it looked way too close for comfort. They started off doing promo together, all smiles, all chemistry, and by the time his divorce was finalized, she was spotted visiting him on set in Boston. So, yeah, maybe it's history repeating itself. Maybe that's why these new rumors about the other woman hit so hard, because this isn't exactly new territory for him. So let's talk about the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, because oh my God. Blake accused her Ends With Us co-star and director of harassment and retaliation, and for a minute it looked like just another Hollywood falling out. But then her lawyers came in swinging, and I mean swinging. They basically said Justin and his team were hiding evidence using encrypted apps like Signal, deleting messages, and pulling every sneaky move in the book to cover their tracks. Her lawyers even called it a digital smoking gun. But wait, just because Justin didn't deny it, he clapped back hard. He filed a $400 million lawsuit against Blake and Ryan for defamation. Yep, he went after the whole household.
They f***ed up. Ryan's trying to get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit, and they're like, you are a key part of this.
This is what you get, though. This is what you get. You're trying to fucking ruin a guy's livelihood by using the Me Too movement.
Now imagine being Ryan, Mr. Deadpool, king of jokes, suddenly dragged into this legal nightmare you had nothing to do with. While Blake's fighting to save her career, he's out here trying to do a PR cleanup before the whole thing tanks both of their brands. That's not love, that is straight up chaos. So at this point, it feels like that lawsuit didn't just ruin her movie, it might have ruined their marriage too. Now, you know the internet was never gonna stay quiet about this, because the second those blind items started circulating, fans were ready. And honestly, the takes have been wild. One person straight up said he's not only cheated, but there's an account from at least one other actress, and the implication that this wasn't the first time, that he coerced her into unwanted sex, using the fact that he had a lot of influence on the movie set they were working on and could get her fired. Apparently, he's genuinely sleazy, which is not at all surprising. And like, I don't even know what to say to that. If that's true, which again, hasn't been confirmed anywhere, that's not just messy, that is career ending. But it does show how fast this whole situation has spiraled. One minute it's happy family, and the next people are accusing Ryan of being sleazy behind the scenes. Then someone else wrote Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Oh wow, I thought there was no way they'd split. Seemed like they'd both just dug each other's graves deeper and deeper. Till scandal do us part, I guess. And you know what? That one kinda hit, because when you look at everything that's happened, the lawsuit, the silence, the distance, it's like the fairy tale's rotting from the inside out. But wait, it gets even more twisted. Another comment went viral saying, this settles it. The whole harassment thing stemmed from her husband finding out she had a crush, then Baldoni had to be completely cut out and mocked on the other movie. Hubs was outraged, probably pushed for the lawsuit against him to call his wife's bluff that she was innocent and the line crossing was all on Baldoni's side, just to find out the opposite was true. If that's true, and that's a big if, then we're talking about a marriage that's been in survival mode for a while now. And this last one, brutal. Someone said they are no longer a power couple because Blake Lively is PR poison and hasn't done enough to rehabilitate her image. In Hollywood, a divorce can happen fast when two careers no longer jive together. Ouch. But I can't lie, Hollywood does move like that. When one image cracks, the whole brand starts crumbling. And if their careers aren't syncing anymore, a split might just be the cleanest option. So yeah, maybe this really is the end of one of Hollywood's favorite couples, or maybe we're just suddenly watching the setup for a very public breakup. You know, the kind where one person suddenly steps out with a friend that's been around the whole time. Now, here's the real question. When that happens, who do you think Ryan's mystery boo might be? Because the way things are looking, that reveal's coming sooner than anyone expects. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and trust me, by then, this story might have a whole new twist.